Well, all right. You know, concert touring has changed quite a bit since the days of the minstrels taking their wagons from village to village, from town to town, back from thousands of years ago, to what Barnum and Bailey, the circus, the carnival, what it all turns into, taking a show from town to town. Now, rock concert touring is invented in my lifetime. Remember the Beatles, one of the reasons the Beatles stopped playing live is because they couldn't hear themselves perform. Things like stage monitors, floor monitors, you could hear yourselves, or how we do it now, ear monitors, you could hear musicians hearing themselves, artists hearing. It didn't exist in the 1960s. You know, so I've witnessed the evolution over time. And it's come a long way, and how we do it today is not how we used to do it. And if you've ever in your life worked at a factory, that's what touring life is. Only the difference is that it's a factory's in a different city. And we wash, rinse, and repeat and do the same thing over and over again. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to give you a window into the life of being on tour, what it's really like. This is it. Enjoy. It's the first snow in Woodstock, and I'm just leaving my house. I'm going on a big adventure, and I'm heading to Texas. All right, downtown Woodstock. Sunday morning, first snowfall. There's that guy. Traffic is pretty heavy this morning. Oh my God, there's someone making a left. And there's CVS, and there's the Cumbies. There's the hippy dippy grocery store. And that is it. Good night, Woodstock. See you in 3 weeks. Welcome to Charlotte, where they have the nice rocking chairs. They got AC. And they got crappy music. Here at the Dallas airport where I'm waiting for my luggage. Day one of the hostage crisis here in Dallas. And the only thing funny that's happened so far is some gay cowboy tried to pick me up. Said he wanted me to ride his Uber. I said, listen, handsome, you ain't that good looking. You don't even have a horse. I didn't buy his story. Still here waiting for the van. First meal in Texas. Let's see what we got. Load-in day in Dallas, we show up there. The first thing we do.
It's okay.
How a modern arena show is built is what happens is the first thing in the morning, the riggers go in and we hang all the chain from the ceiling so we can lift everything up with electric motors. But the stage is built at one end of the arena, so we could build everything in place, and when everything lifts up in the air, when the sound goes up, the lighting, God willing, goes up, and the video wall goes up, all the scenic elements go up, then we push the stage underneath the rig, right where it's all supposed to be. It's actually done with what they call math. It's all about math. It's not about how you feel about it. Well, you know, I feel it should be over here. I feel you should shut the fuck up and listen to the person with the tape measure. That's how we do it.
And this is how they push the stage in Texas, 1 inch at a time. There's no way it's gonna hit that. Stop. And if this ever gets out of the way, yeah, pushing the stage in place. Yeah, right? And that's how we do it.
You know, one of my jobs on the tour is I hang the stage left audio system. And that consists of a main PA, a side, what we call the side hang, and then a 270-degree rig on the back. Sometimes, like in New York or Los Angeles, we did a full 360 and had a full rear PA hanging as well. With that bundle, I also have a 60-foot cable truss. I've got multiple cable. Each cable weighs about 2 pounds per foot. Takes 13 electric motors to lift the entire thing up in the air. And, you know, you talk about 2 pounds a foot per cable, and there's X amount of cables per bundle. The thing starts getting heavy pretty fast.
Stop the Woodstock Roadies. Go ahead, try in front of me. Mike.
Poopy sounding stage. It's a poopy sounding venue.
Modern day Los Angeles, we show up. First thing we do,
Alright, LA Forum. Digging all the groups I've ever played here.
Yeah, you know, AJR had a lot of wireless shit going on. It was like half a lot of I think he was having a feed of
It's the Hall of Bitches.
You know, by the time we got to LA, which was the second show, we felt that we needed to put together our own system to evaluate the crew. Our 12-point system was ready to revolutionize how we evaluate people in the event business. First off, punctuality. Who are we waiting for? Who's the last one in the van? Who's the last one in the lobby call? These are the things we got to get to the bottom of. Second is mask wearing. Who is wearing their mask properly? Who's got the chin diaper? Third, radio response. Who is it that's not keying back on the walkie? Who's stepping over everybody else? Basic courtesy. Number 4, who's the phone guy? Who's the guy that's always on his phone, always jerking around? I'm not talking about somebody that's like doing actual business. I'm talking about somebody that's still candy crushing. Number 5, it's all about the hygiene. When you're living in tight quarters, you know, it's like who is it that needs that shower? Number 6 is thoughtfulness. You know, are you trying to help your buddy out when he's struggling? Are you gonna go ahead and watch him, you know? I once said to a guy, you know, I can't stand to watch you struggling like this, so I'm gonna have to go over here. Number 7 is sarcasm. Yeah, I know, I'm gonna score really poorly on this. Number 8 was environmental awareness. Are you just throwing your garbage everywhere? Are you even looking for a can? Number 9, situational awareness. Are you standing in front of the forklift again? Come on. Number 10 is attitude. Don't we get enough attitude from the artists and their incoming crew? Actually, the crew usually has more attitude than the artists. You know, can we keep the attitude in check amongst us? Number 11, penmanship. I am going to get an F for that. I spent my whole life writing with a Sharpie. And which way does that E go? Number 12 was presentability. How will you present yourself on the site, backstage, amongst the crew, amongst the talent? We got some people that they're gonna need some work. Everyone on the tour was really excited about our new evaluation system, and they looked forward to getting involved.
All right, the show's gonna start. We're in Los Angeles with the fellas, and 25,000 screaming bitches are gonna go crazy out there. What is going on?
People here love K-pop.
Loading day Minneapolis, we show up. First thing we do.
All right, Minneapolis, here we go, the big gig. Everyone's really excited. They are excited. We're not excited. That coffee, that's exciting.
Loading day Chicago. We show up, and the first thing we do.
Adam, you want to finish the job or you want to go to catering?
You know, when you're doing a tour festival style with 10 bands, it's all about keeping the risers moving. And all the action backstage is all about miking up the bands, getting all the risers set, getting the AC and whatever needs to be on these decks to go up. And that's what's happening. Now, when it comes to miking up these bands, we got an hour or so to do each one. But when it comes to taking it apart, I've got about 2 minutes. It is a mad dash of stagehands, technicians, and the band technicians, sometimes who literally have tears in their eyes and are crying because how fast this is happening. And, you know, there's a lot of meltdowns, there's a lot of freakouts. Especially there's some freakouts in Chicago, which I will not show you or talk about, but guarantee you, we had some freakouts when people aren't ready for this to happen like that.
Work that. You know what's fucked up? It's like,
Loading day, New York City. We show up and the first thing we do. We were even lucky enough to travel with our own COVID team to keep us safe. It's like having the TSA with you. You know, everyone loves the TSA. Imagine traveling with them, bringing you with you, having people telling you just how to keep safe every day. What a blessing. Now, I've got my own opinions on personal responsibility, personal safety, how you should take care of yourself, and I just gotta say, yeah, that's about all I got to say about that.
Boston.
When we were in Boston, I was looking forward to getting some local cuisine, getting some clam chowder, getting some lobster, getting something locally. And then what I ended up getting. Loading Day Boston. We show up and the first thing we do. The thing about these bands, and especially some of the bigger bands, they're used to having all day to dick around and with their little setup and waste everyone's day prolonging what they do. But when you come on a stage that I'm running, you're no longer in control of this. We're gonna do this set change in 2 minutes, and and that is really when the peaking and freaking begins. It's that moment when the guillotine goes up and the stage starts to spin. That's when people really start freaking out. I do not freak out. And it's not because it's a magic trick. It's because I've done this many hundreds and whatever amount of times, but it's also because I know what I'm doing and I know what happens next. I always know what happens next. That's what it's all about. If you understand the sequence of the gig and you know what's going to happen next, then there's no surprises. I'm working with some other people who claim to be professionals that show up with these bands, these crew members, and it seems to me that they're surprised an awful lot. Once the train leaves the station and the show starts, it's all about peeling it off the old ones and bringing up the new ones. We wait till the stage spins. We go out there, we disconnect all the risers, disconnect the AC, the inputs, the outputs, pick up any floor wedges, monitors that are on the deck. Everything rolls away. We roll in the new risers and we plug it all up. We do it all in the dark and we do it really fast. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to get run over by a riser. That's for sure. That's the time when the crew members of the band really start peaking and freaking because this is all happening a little too fast for them. But that's a whole lot of what they call a tough shit, because that's how it is. Because we don't got time to be dicking around with your little projects. This is not your show. It's a main show. You're part of it, and you lose your control. And for a lot of the crew guys coming in, they're just not very comfortable with that. As I always say, it's your show to ruin, and there's always somebody dedicated to making the simple the most hardest thing as possible, always getting in the way of something happening quickly. Loading Day, Philadelphia. We show up, first thing we do. load in DC. We show up and the first thing we do, you don't want a big tour, there's 90 people, you can't remember everyone's name, so I'll give somebody a nickname so I can remember them that way. And a couple of the nicknames that I gave out on this tour were the pyro people. One of the pyro technicians, I nicknamed him Kaboom, and the other one, I named her Blam. So there was Kaboom and Blam. I could tell they weren't in the business very long because they had all of their fingers. There was a third pyro technician, and I gave him the name Click. So we had Click, Kaboom, and Blam. 30 fingers between them all. Great team. You know, there's a lot of jobs on the tour, and by far the most difficult, the most high-profile job is the stage monitor mixer, the person that's controlling the sound for the artists when they're on stage. This is the lightning rod position for every complaint that the artist has. If you've ever seen an artist freak out on stage, they're freaking out at the monitor mixer. They can't hear something, they're hearing something too loud, they're hearing too much of them, not enough of him. There's always an issue. And if you're somebody that freaks out, you are not monitor mixer material. You look for the coolest guy in the building, you look for the guy that's just hanging out real casual, nothing rattles him at all. That's the monitor mixer. Load in Atlanta, we show up, and the first thing we do, you know, on a big tour like this, there's always people that are complaining.
We rollin' the stage Atlanta style. We rollin' it, and we rollin' it. Just walked a mile to get to this fucking bus.
Woodstock County, we're across county lines somewhere.
My God. someone hit the fence?
So after the show in Atlanta, we're rolling down the highway somewhere. We get to some truck stop, and me and my buddy may not have been medicated, over-medicated. We're not saying, we're not knowing, who knows, right? But I know this. We go walk into this truck stop, and I saw this Amish dude standing there, and I had never seen an Amish in southern Georgia before, and I said, hey, yo, Jebediah, what's happening? You know, because I like to greet people. Man, I don't know what was wrong, but it was just so funny. And we both started laughing, and we were unable to collect ourselves at that point, and laughing all the way through a southern Georgia truck stop at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, some good time. Had to run out of there in a big hurry, and the only thing I could grab that seemed appropriate was a yogurt. Even though we couldn't stop laughing, I'm convinced that we did not look like we were high. Load in Miami. We show up, and the first thing we do, you know, sadly, the last show of the tour was canceled due to the mofongo, so that's how it went down, and we all scattered apart. It was weird, like we didn't get the kind of closure that you get like with the end of the tour party. You know, we all just kind of scattered off like we do, and that was it. You know, thankful that I work with the best people in the business, and, you know, I'm thankful that I love what I do, and I love my job. You know, for a guy from Cleveland that grew up doing shows in rock and roll biker bars down in the flats, I gotta tell you, I'm thrilled to be where I'm at. I'm thrilled with my profession, being in the concert business, being in the audio business. Every day is just a big adventure, and I really enjoy it. What is more Americana than being a roadie on the road, taking a big show across the country? It's as good as it gets. It's as unique experience as the American experience. And I tell you, I'm just thrilled to have lived in a place in history where we did such a thing. You can't have a show without roadies, and nobody cares about a show without Rockstars. Where did I park my car? 3 weeks ago. All right. Is that it? We done here? All right. For God's sakes, let's load out already.